The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, Chapter 3 Habits, Subtopic Game Changers, 6 Techniques for Installing Good Habits. Now that we have helped you eliminate the bad habits that are taking you in the wrong direction, we need to create new choices, behaviors, and ultimately habits that will finally take you in the direction of your grandest desires. Eliminating a bad habit means removing something from your routine. Installing a new, more productive habit requires an entirely different skill set. You're planting the tree, watering it, fertilizing it, and making sure it's properly rooted. Doing so takes effort, time, and practice. Here are my favorite techniques for putting good habits in place. Leadership expert John C. Maxwell said, "You will never change your life until you change something you do daily." You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. According to research, it takes 300 instances of positive reinforcement to turn a new habit into an unconscious practice. That's almost a year of daily practice. Unfortunate, Fortunately, as we talked about earlier, we know we've got a much better chance of cementing a new habit into our lives after 3 weeks of diligent focus. That means that if we bring special attention to a new habit daily for the first 3 weeks, we have a better chance of making it a lifelong practice. The truth is, you can change a habit in a second, or you can still be trying to break it after 10 long years. The first time you touched a hot stove, you instantly knew you'd never make that a habit. The shock and pain was so intense that it forever changed your awareness. You knew you'd be conscious for the rest of your life around hot stoves. The key is staying aware. If you really want to maintain a good habit, make sure you pay attention to it at least once a day, and you're far more likely to succeed. Set up yourself to succeed. Number one, set yourself up to succeed. Any new habit has to work inside your life and lifestyle. If you join a gym that's 30 miles away, you won't go. If you are a night owl, but the gym closes at 6 p.m., it won't work for you. Your gym must be close and convenient and fit into your schedule. If you want to lose weight and eat healthier, make sure your fridge and pantry are stocked with healthy options. Want to make sure you don't binge on vending machine snacks when you get midday hunger pangs? Keep nuts and healthy snacks in your desk drawer. The easiest thing to grab when you are hungry is empty carbs. One strategy I use is to have protein on hand. I cook up a bunch of chicken on Sunday and package it and have it ready for the week. One of my most distracting and destructive habits is my email addiction. Seriously, this is no laughing matter. I can lose hours of focus every day with the massive amounts of email flooding my inbox if I'm not vigilant about staying organized and focused. To set up the discipline of my new habit of only checking emails thrice a day, I turned off all alarms, all automatic receive functions, and shut the program down when I'm not in one of those three windows of allocated time. I have to build the wall around the time vortex lest I keep falling in all day. Number two, think addition, not subtraction. When I interviewed Molten Williams for Success, he told me about the strict diet he maintains because of the disease that afflicts him, multiple sclerosis. Montel has adopted something called the add-in principle, and I think it's wildly effective tool for anyone with any goal. It's not so much what you attempt to take out of your diet. He explained to me, excuse me, it's what you put in instead. This has become his analogy for life. Instead of thinking that he has to deprive himself or take something out of his diet, example, I can't eat hamburger, chocolate, and dairy, he thinks about what he can have instead. Example, today I'm going to have a salad and steamed vegetables and fresh figs. He fills his focus and his belly with what he can have, so he no longer has attention or hunger for what he can't. Instead of focusing on what he has to sacrifice, Montel thinks about what he gets to add in. The result is a lot more powerful. A friend of mine wanted to break his bad habit of wasting too much time watching TV. To help out, I asked him what he'd like to do with 3 hours of free time if he had it. He said he would play with his kids more. I also asked him to pick a hobby he'd always wanted to explore. His choice was photography. A total techie, he went out and got all the high-tech editing equipment, which he happily toted along on on a more family outing so he could take great photos of his kids. Then he'd spend hours in the evening editing and putting together slideshows and photo albums for the whole family to enjoy. They ended up spending time together, laughing and remembering how much fun they'd had. Because he was so focused on his kids and photography, he no longer had the time nor the desire to sit around and watch TV at night. He realized he'd been zoning out on it because it was an easy mental escape from his workday. By replacing TV viewing with his new habit of playing games with his kids and working on his photography hobby, he discovered passion with far more power and far bigger payoff. What can you choose to add in so you can enrich your life experience? Number three, go for a PDA, public display of accountability. Picture any public official taking the oath of office. I do solemnly swear, dash, dash, dash. And then comes the speech on how she'll turn her campaign promises into boots on the ground reality. Once she puts it out there on the public record, she knows that she'll be held accountable and responsible for any actions that rolls back on her promises and praised for any progress towards her goals. Want to cement that new habit? Get Big Brother to watch you. It's never been easier with all the social media available. I heard about one woman who decided to get control of her finances by blogging about every penny she spends every day. She's got her family, friends, and plenty of colleagues following her spending habits. And as a result of many eyes of scrutiny, she's become far more responsible and disciplined in her finances. I once helped a coworker quit smoking by telling everyone at the company, listen up, Zelda has decided to stop smoking. Isn't that great? She just smoked her last cigarette. I then placed a huge wall calendar on the outside of her cubicle. Every day she didn't smoke, Zelda got to draw a big fat red X on the calendar. Co-workers took notice and started to cheer her on, and the parade of big red X's started to fill up the chart, which took a life of its own. Zelda didn't want to quit on the chart, quit on her co-workers, and quit on herself. But she did quit smoking. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your Facebook and Twitter. Get the word out that there's new sheriff in town and you are in charge. Number 4, find a success buddy. There are few things as powerful as two people locked arm in arm marching towards the same goal. To up your chances of success, get a success buddy, someone who will keep you accountable as you cement your new habit while you return the favor. I, for example, have what I call a peak performance partner. Every Friday at 11 a.m. sharp, we have a 30-minute call during which we trade our wins, losses, fixes, ahas, and solicit the needed feedback and hold each other accountable. You might seek out a success buddy for regular walks, runs, and dates at the gym, or to meet to discuss and trade personal development books. Number 5, competition and camaraderie. There's nothing like a friendly contest to whet your competitive spirit and immerse yourself in a new habit with a bang. Dr. Mehmet Oz once told me in an interview, if people would just walk 1,000 more steps per day, they would change their lives. Video Plus, the parent company for success, has a step competition using shoe pedometers to count steps. Employees organized into teams and competed with each other which team could accumulate the most steps. It was amazing to me that people who didn't previously exercise for their own health or benefit suddenly started walking 4, 5, and 6 miles a day. At lunch, they walked in the parking lot. If they knew they had a conference call, suddenly they were out doing it on their personal cell phones while they walked. Because of the competition, they found ways to increase their activity. Everyone's steps were tracked, and the whole office could see who was slacking off and who was stepping up. People's step tallies increased every day. Yet, as soon as the competition was over, I was fascinated to observe that the step count completely dropped off the cliff by more than 60% just 1 month after the competition. When the competition was reorganized again, the step count shot back up. All it took was a little competition to keep people's engines revved, and they got a whole full sense of community and shared experience and camaraderie in the bargain. What kind of friendly competition can you organize with your friends and colleagues or teammates? How can you inject fun rivalry and competitive spirit into your new habit? Celebrate. Number 6. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, and it's a recipe for backsliding. There should be a time to celebrate, to enjoy some of the fruits of your victories along the way. You can't go through this thing sacrificing yourself with no benefit. Got to find little rewards to give yourself every month, every week, every day, even something small to acknowledge that you've held yourself to a new behavior. Maybe time to yourself to take a walk, in the bath, or read something just for fun. For bigger milestone, book a massage or have dinner at your favorite restaurant. And promise yourself a nice big pot of gold when you reach the end of the rainbow. Change is hard. There is one thing that 99% of failures and successful folks have in common. They all hate doing the same things. The difference is successful people do them anyways. Change is hard. That's why people don't transform their bad habits and why so many people end up unhappy and unhealthy. What excites me about this reality, however, is that if change were easy and everyone were doing it, it would be much more difficult for you and me to stand out and become an extraordinary success. Ordinary is easy, extraordinary is what will separate you from the crowd. Personally, I'm always happy when something is hard. Why? Because I know that most people don't or won't do what it takes. Therefore, it will be easier for me to step in front of the pack and take the lead. I love what Martin Luther King Jr. said so eloquently. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge. When you press on despite difficulty, tedium, and hardship, that's when you earn your improvement and gain strides in the competition. If it's hard, awkward, or tedious, so be it. Just do it and keep doing it. And the magic of the compound effect will reward you handsomely. Thank you for listening to The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. I will continue to read tomorrow.